channel. This is Coralie D here. Today's video is a little bit different. Just to set the scene, when I finished university I went back home and stayed with my dad and my brothers. We then decided to rent the house out for Airbnb. We actually lived out in the sheds for a while. We renovated them out so we had living space, and then I also made a little outhouse bit that we could have food in, made a table outdoor, and then had a barbecue and had a fridge and stuff like there, so we all stayed outside. Now this was before I then got a job in the city where I am now in my flat, before I was then a triathlon coach and then became a CrossFit coach and also did swim teaching and all that kind of stuff, so that's what I'm doing now. But when first lockdown happened, I decided to go back home and stay with my dad and my brothers again. So I kind of felt like I wanted to remake that space in the shed, renovate it, make it a little bit more homely. It was kind of like a project that I've been wanting to do for such a long time, but I'd never really had the time to, plus I was in the city. So I decided I would go for it. I didn't want to use all the stuff from the house and the sheds and everything. I didn't want to go out and buy things. So it was going to be a massive gamble on what we had and what we didn't have. I just looked around, tried to figure out what I could do, and kind of just made a plan as I went along. And my dad thankfully helped me with a lot of things, and it was so nice to spend time with him doing that. Basically, this is a video of me renovating the shed out, making it into a nice space. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Here's me finding my paint that was ace. It was such a perfect color. So yeah, enjoy the video and let me know what you think in the comment section. Hope you guys are doing good. We found some really old paint. This is what it looks like here. So it looks pretty old, and it says jade on it. So I wasn't really sure what kind of color we were gonna get, but this lovely bluey kind of greeny color looks amazing. Good morning everyone. So last night I started painting until it got dark, and then I couldn't really see what I was doing, so I had to put a head torch on, but I managed to do these 3 panels here, and then I'm just going to get the rest done. I've got Oshin here to help me move this and this, so it's more of an empty shell, and then I'm just going to go for it. So let's go. So I have managed to finish the inside. That's all of the blue that I've done so far. And now the next step is to paint the outside of the shed with this paint here. The walls here, along there, and then either side. This is really needing a very good mix. It looked almost white to begin with, so I'm just making sure the whole thing's mixed and it's not super watery at the top. And then I'm gonna get straight to it.
You sure you know what you're doing?
Perhaps I was talking when I should have been listening.
After painting the outside of the shed, I then painted the door. I then painted the skirting boards, and then parts of the shed that I wanted to be white as well. So we're back in the shed and we've got a few more things to do. This bit needs to be covered with wood. So we had an old wardrobe that was outside that used to be here. We've taken the paneling off and we're going to see if we can actually attach it to there, because that's got insulation in, and then I'm going to hopefully paint that. Might also take some off of this. Who knows? Let's just find out. It's loud, isn't it? But what about one of these bits here? I wonder what we could do. So the plan is to try and get these onto there. Right, my go. Thanks. One more time. Are you going to put different screws in anyway?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Oh, what's that? You had a chance, sir. I was doing it delicately not to ruin them.
Right, pass it here and mollify.
Oh,
I'll do this end and then pull it up. This end is better because it doesn't have rust on it.
Okay, well let me do this end then.
Nice. What you call recycling, or upcycling, or downcycling, or
Upcycling, obviously.
upcycling.
Later! Hi matey! I don't know why people don't do more of this kind of stuff.
What?
I guess it's because they don't have access to this kind of thing at home.
What, a drill?
Yeah, just like making things. Maybe lots of people are doing it now in lockdown, I don't know.
Maybe they are.
Come on, girly. What was that? Yeah, we got them all! Look like I'm the witch from the Wizard of Oz. Yep, will do. So unfortunately we didn't manage to get a video clip of us actually attaching these bits of panelling to the wall, but once we did, we then painted it white. I then took an old chest of drawers that I wanted to then paint white, so I had to sand the whole thing down and then paint it. So today we are on pallet duty. We have a ton of wood outside the house and we have people that we could get pallets from, but we're thinking we should try and make our own. So let's go see what we've got. We've got some old pallets that we've had for a while. We've measured them so they're 100 by 120. Now these are kind of old, but this is wood that we've found that we're thinking we could just chop up and make again, because these are kind of old, but they might be okay.
A bit of water damage.
So you think we should just try and make them?
We can take the planks off and everything.
Okay, let's give it a go. So, a little bit out of breath because we just played Bump, which is a basketball game. But back to pallets. We are now going to be cutting these to rebuild this pallet here. So let's take it with us.
How you doing, Carly?
I'm doing good. A lot more work than I thought, but I guess it's better than trying to get other pallets. Just reuse the ones that we've got, which is surprising because a lot of them are kind of old and meh. But hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll work. It does have a little kink in the wood. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 new bits that we're gonna then put on the kind of decayed pallet. Try and rebuild it. Yes. It's like Jenga. Now let's see if we can rebuild this pallet.
Face of concentration.
Was I? So I am trying to sand the pallets, but this one has a bit of green on it and I don't know whether it's mold or moth or something that's kind of built up over the years. As you can see, all this stuff comes off, but it's hard to get off just because of the grains of the wood. So I've got this steel brush here and I'm going to try and give this a go and see if I can get all of the green off. So let's give it a go. Okay, that's a no-go. I ended up taking like gouges out of the wood, so I think I'm going to have to pressure washer these. So that's working really well. Yay. So we are getting there. I have pressure washed all of the pallets. You can see these two over here. They're still drying. This one has dried. There are a few sections of the pallets that where the wood just completely came off. This a little bit here I wanted to try and glue back on again. So now I have a tie wrap, so I'm going to tie this around to keep it on and let it stick. Now I'm going to treat the wood by putting some varnish on the tops of the pallets where the mattresses are going to go, just to avoid any dampness or anything going on to the mattresses. So it's currently raining a little bit, so I have brought my pallets into Dad's shed. There's not that much space, but it's absolutely fine. I have just propped this up on this trestle thing against the desk, and I'm just giving it, oh, you can hear the rain starting to come on quite heavy now. So I'm just going to give it a last bit of sandpapering before I then varnish it. The bit at the back there is still gluing, so I'm just going to make sure everything's hunky-dory. When I pressure washed them, even though I'd sanded it before, you can see that there's some bits like sticking up. You might not be able to see it, so I'm just making sure that they've had a good sand before I then varnish them. So time to sand this one for the last time and then give it a varnish. So guys, I'm on the last panel of the last palette, which is super exciting. It's still raining at the moment and I'm literally just about to finish all the paint. Very, very lucky that I managed to use this. It's quite a small tub, so it's perfect that I've managed to use it. So I guess this process or little project has actually been really fun. I have always wanted to do this. I've just never kind of got around to doing it or had the time, but since we're in lockdown, thought I might as well do it. I'm really happy that I managed to restore these palettes. I didn't think it was going to be possible because palettes that we've got have been piled on top of each other for years and years and years. My neighbour did say he could have maybe got some for me, but I just thought may as well just use the ones we've got or nobody has to travel anywhere. So yeah, this is the last palette. I've literally just got to fill in these little bits in here and let it dry, and then I'll be able to show you guys hopefully end result. So I had some old Highland dancing mats that we used to use for competitions when we were younger, and I lay them on the ground just to give a little bit of padding and a little bit of warmth to the shed as well. Then had some old carpets that I had acquired from different places, popped them down, didn't finish the whole shed but that was fine. I then popped in the chest of drawers, I put in the pallets and then got the mattresses. So this is what I've been doing, my shed project. Pallets, carpet, bed, the backboard, all the painting, done all the roofing, painted the chest of drawers, got some fairy lights, painted the door here, and this is the outside. And if you want a little bit, this is still to do, if you want a little bit of nature, right next to your bedroom, here we have a lizard. This is the view from the outside with all the doors open. In the summertime it was so warm and cozy. I had a tiny little heater just to make sure that I was warm enough and some blankets, but honestly it was perfect for summertime and such a lovely space to be in. If you have the time and the space to do something like this, I would highly recommend it. I learned so much and spent such a great time with my dad. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. I know there were a lot of things that I hadn't videoed, but I hope you got the gist of everything that I had done. Here's just a few clips and snaps of me and the journey that was renovating the shed. I hope it's inspired you guys to do something similar or have the idea that you can definitely do it if you want to in the future. I highly recommend trying to do something like this. It's so much fun. You learn so much and you get to spend time with your family. Hope you guys are great and you are keeping well and keeping healthy. Lots of love and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.
Kobi, I see you.